Hello and welcome back. I am Arumba. Thank you for joining me. Let's play some more EU4, the Ryukyu World Conquest campaign. I'm looking around the map a little bit while eating, trying to decide where to go next. Haven't really found an option that I'm really super excited about. Moving my capital right now has really limited the number of places that I can create a client state. We're a tech advantage ahead on Lithuania. Don't really want to fight Russia or Persia right now. The Teutons have an exposed capital fort and 3 mothballed forts. Sounds pretty good. Okay, but before we can do anything else, we've got to square away this extra merchant, square away trade. We've got to change, basically go through all of our merchants. I'm thinking about stealing a province from Persia. I don't really want to fight. I don't want to fight Russia yet. I don't want to fight Persia, Russia. They're both on equal tech, 23-23. Just don't want to do it yet, and I don't need to do it yet because they're, despite being large, they are not so much war score that I can't pick them apart. You know, Russia's kind of up there. Ottomans are down to 600%, but keep in mind we have one more level of administrative efficiency. Wordsies. This guy will hopefully, you know, oh my god, the overextension on see, this is why I want client states. Look at all this unrest. 26.5 unrest. You're so bad. Maybe I do need to park these armies on these provinces. Good lord. I was thinking I wouldn't need to, but meanwhile, my new client state with his, you know, 4.5, 0, 1.5, like, come on, man. Surprisingly, it's showing that he's got unrest in his capital. I don't know if that's correct, though. That might update. Alright, well, for now, we'll park a few troops up here. This guy's going to bounce around there. I need another army for that. Okay, this is gonna take some time here. All right, let's track the number. Mark it in your calendars. 580 ducats a month in trade. That's what we were making before moving our capital. And let's turn on all the stuff. Ships, merchants, navies, and merchants. This is gonna be a bit arduous, I think. Starting with this merchant, we've got a merchant in Doab. If the trade goes to Goa, I'm happy. If the trade goes to here, it gets boosted an extra time. So I kind of would like it to go this way, but I might not have enough merchants to allow that. So I'm going to get my notes out, and we're going to have potential, like, okay, available. It's not necessary that he's there. It's nice, but it's not necessary. I want to get as long of a continuous boost of trade value as we possibly can get. Next merchant, Girin. Needs to be there, 100% chance, absolutely. The Moluccas, part of my trade chain, yes, should be there. Philippines, part of the trade chain, needs to be there. Well, actually not really. Okay, so the only input coming from here is from Canton. But if I don't steer here, then it goes to Panama. Once it gets to Panama, that's okay, but it's not as good as going around. Okay, I think the merchant should be there. Yeah, it's fine. Cape of Good Hope. Yes, he's part of the trade chain. Mexico. Yes, absolutely 100% essential. And also, I really need more trade power here. As much as I can get. I need to really force a lot of this value here. So, whichever fleet is protecting in Mexico, I want more of you, please. Veen. Not necessary at all. Not really. But before we start unappointing them, let's just do the full pass. Kashmir. Inland Center. Kind of nice because it pulls money away from Russia and Ottomans. Not necessarily needed. Hangzhou. Part of the trade chain needs to be there. Okay. Champagne. Nice, but still not necessary. Doab was which one? I had Doab. Champagne. No, I've already messed up. There was one that was definitely going to get moved. It was Veen. Veen is completely not necessary. Part of the trade chain. Trade chain. We're already going to change this. We gotta wait like a day so that we can modify it, I think. Actually, no, we gotta recall. No, it's not true. We didn't need to recall. Shoot. Now I gotta wait for him to come out here. Actually, I need to wait a month for this to stop collecting because my trade capital did get moved, but it will take time. Here, we want to stop collecting from trade, start transferring trade power, and we want to send it north to Chesapeake Bay. Here, we want to not go directly into the English Channel, I think. I'm going to send it north. Then again, we can get a double boost this way. There's a lot of other people boosting it in this direction, so... Going by all these guys, though, they're gonna steal a pretty big chunk of my trade value. We'll have to dispatch some merchants up here. Or sorry, some light ships. New merchant. Shoot. I've messed up slightly. I don't want to wait those 38 days for the merchants to move around. I want to get this other guy over here. I want to just deal with trade now and be done with it, you know? For the most part. Unless... Shoot, I think I'd have to redo all the client state crap. I don't want to do that. Nah, whatever. We'll wait the month. It's going to take 2 months to get the trade up to correct numbers anyway because of the fact that the you can't like stop collecting from trade in the node that used to be your capital node. Until the next month. Call all merchants home and start from scratch? That seems like that would actually be more work, wouldn't it? Yep, we should also get extra merchants, try to get extra merchants from trade companies in all of the different trade company regions now. To do that, I'll need to continue to unstate that area. So, yeah, we're just going to go back to where we were at. So, keep going down this list for a second. I had Kashmir, Timbuktu, not necessary. Maybe that would be easier, actually. You're probably right. What do you guys think? Should we put it to a vote? There's your straw poll if you guys don't mind. I mean, the thing is that there are some nodes that are pretty damn obvious that we're going to want to do it. So, yes, relax. I know there's a lot of mistakes in the trade setup right now, but that's because we were collecting in Malacca. Obviously, we don't want to collect in the Ivory Channel anymore, or sorry, the Ivory Coast anymore. That's stupid. We're not going to collect here. I know. But before that made sense because it did. Now it doesn't. We're going to straighten trade out. We're going to end up making way more money, but the mark is 578.76. It'll probably take at least 6 months to get everything exactly how it should be, as far as like ships being where they should be and, you know, all that stuff. But I'm expecting we should be able to make more than that now. Okay, straw poll says that we should 78% just say recall all. Alright, sounds good. Let's do it. There's no easy way to recall them all, huh? The entire world is going to be confused as hell by this trade income in a second. Apparently it didn't save me adding trade companies. Before it's all said and done, we're going to have even more merchants. We're going to probably end up getting another one in a moment. We'll be at like 25, 26 merchants pretty soon. Alright, let's just wait a month till they're all home. We're not overextended. We're projected to lose income. That's fine, doesn't matter. We've got some little bit of a stockpile for it. We're 3 months away from being able to take tech. We need to try to get our piety negative. We are on track to get our cores done. We've got Berbera, which is a place that I don't plan on doing things with. I'm curious to see if I'm actually able to get down to 0% autonomy since this is my capital, even though it's a half-cored province. Serlo the Savage, thank you for your sub. Okay. Let's just go. We need to dip Matt back. Let's come back from... Of course, Pomeranian's counter-espionaging me. Why wouldn't he be? As far as what to do with the spy network strength against the Ottomans, I don't know. I think I'm just going to sabotage his reputation. Spending money to try to make rebels fire was just a complete waste, so... Enjoy that, sir. Okay, we definitely want one in our end node to get the bonus of 10% increased income. So we'll put our first merchant here. Beyond that, yeah, we lost 300 ducats last month. We need to get this squared away kind of quick if we don't, you know, if we can. Also, the colonies are pretty expensive, so yeah. Obviously, we're going to need a merchant here. If we have spares, we would like a merchant to... It's a lot of money coming out of there. Love to boost that. It's already being boosted fairly well by the other countries, though. Okay, next we're going to want a merchant here. From here, we want to go all the way back over this way to Ivory Coast. There's the pop-ups I was talking about. So the price of sugar is going to go up. That's cool. We can either restrict free trade. We get coffee boom. Gives us some prestige that we can work with to try to get some of these guys loyal again. I think the Mamluks need to be brought back in line. Now this one, I don't know. I actually was wondering about this one. Should we, I'm actually kind of tempted to click it. I think that in general, cotton is more valuable, isn't it? What's the base price of wool? There's more total trade value on the whole world if we have a larger modifier on a trade good that's got better value, right? Wool is... at a base price of 250 currently valued at 2. The 250 versus cotton, which is a base trade value of 3. So there's more overall trade value if we sacrifice a little bit of mercantilism. I do. I almost always take the mercantilism, but having cotton go up in value is, I think, better. Not only do we get more production value, but we also get more trade value, and it gets multiplied over and over and over again. So I think I'm going to actually take the mercantilism hit, which feels weird. Okay, we have any merchants free? We should. Not yet. Okay, next we go up to, not there, but to the Ivory Coast. Norway is attacking Sweden. Wow. I don't know that we have enough power here to really force this. Look at all that money going into Samarkand. Yuck. Now, these are kind of secondary to the primary, like, corridor of the money. The money comes mostly, a little bit here, a little bit there, but mostly from here. Now, if it's coming out of Mexico, the value is going to go towards Nippon, which means that Giran... Giran's a node that there is some value there that I'd like to make sure we keep, but... Remind me to come back to... Yeah, Giran's important enough. I don't want that money going to anyone else. I think it's an important enough province for it. We've already got a guy in Mexico. And 4 more that are still free. So Mexico's going to go that way. From Mexico... This is already going the right way. This is wrong. I want it to go that way first. This is correct. That's correct. Eventually, we're going to want it to actually go this way for an extra bump. That's pretty much the main loop, right? You're going to the English Channel? Nope, that's wrong. We want this going to the Caribbean. I think we're there with the merchants that we still needed. I do still have some trade power here, so this is a secondary location, but we'll send a merchant here. A bump on that. This was a nice little bump on this one would be good. The further upstream you get the bump, the more multiplicative it gets, so... And this is 4 ducats going the wrong way, so I do think this is an okay location for it, because it's far, far, far upstream. And then here, we don't want it going into the Philippines, ideally, because Kedah is stealing some of it. I still have 1, 2, 3 more that are free. There's so many merchants. Good lord. I already sent one to Girin. Wow. Yeah, I think that's it. I think they're all arriving. Next is the ships. Back up to positive income. Trade value, it's not where it should be yet, but we still have ships to deploy. And then the numbers are going to start to get pretty damn big. Plus, there's also merchants that probably weren't arrived yet. Okay, all merchants appear to have arrived. Let's turn off that interface then for now. And now let's check navies. So the second fleet is here. Protecting trade in Goa, where we have 97% control. Mao was the only one with provincial trade power. He's got a province called Mandu. That's way, way overkill on trade power there. I mean, it is good, but we don't need that many. I think I'd rather take some of those ships elsewhere. For now, we'll have them protect trade adjacent in here. Last month, we missed out on all the Beijing income because the merchant hadn't arrived. Right, what are you doing? Checking in Hangzhou. That's important. Yes, go ahead and do it. English Channel? It's pretty important, yeah. Caribbean, very important. Need more. Yep, it's good. North Sea, probably need more. Transports. In Girin? Yeah, I think that's fine. There's some value that we can pull out of that. This is wrong. We want it back to Nippon. Get ships protecting trade in the Ivory Coast. Why? That's stupid. Oh no, it's Ivory Coast. I was thinking of the other one. No, that's good. Ceylon. Don't need to protect trade here, I think, with ships. We're already steering everyone that's doing anything. It's 100% going out anyway. I don't need any ships here. So these ships are going to go and protect trade. I think actually all the way over in the Ivory Coast. I want more trade power over there. There's so little value here that I think this is pointless. Malacca, completely pointless. because all of it's being pulled out. North Sea should be joining up with another navy, and English Channel will join up with another navy. Okay. For now, let's see how that ends up shaping up. All merchants are in place. Should be good. I have diplomat free. I am not overextended, so we're going to threaten Persia. Because I'm a meanie. I need to improve relations with my new subject as well. So I'm going to do what? Who do we want to spy on? I'd like to get a claim on Paris, make that thing cheaper. Let's spy in France for a bit. Let's improve relations with our new subject. We will threaten war with Persia. And we will counter-espionage his Senway, like the 18,000th time. Next, I will get a claim on that fort. And then stop spying on him. Okay. Gotta check on Hisenwi's integration of this thing. Yes, we're about to finish the integration of Hisenwi, which will also increase trade value. Because he is being a little bit annoying. He's the main one that owns some of these trade regions. He's just trying to collect up here, though. You can't fault him for that, right? Oh, wait, crap. You're right. My capital is over here now. I should counter-espionage somebody else. I keep forgetting my capital's over here. My closest interaction is actually probably the Netherlands. It's like a one-day trip. So now my shadow diplomats are stupid good. We need to decide who to attack next now. That is the next big decision. And let's find out. So again, if you weren't listening, the number is 580 ducats was the amount that we were making from trade before moving our capital. We're at 516.6 now. Enlightenment has spawned. And I didn't spawn it? Excuse me? No way. It spawned in my subject. Oh no. I think moving my capital removed the university. You need the university. Well, not being the person who spawns it is not very acceptable. I don't remember what the criteria for spawning it are, but I think it's based on having a university and or really good ruler and or something else. But more importantly, this concerns me that we actually aren't making more money now. So we're losing money somewhere. We have 90% control here. Only 178 ducats is making it this far? What the hell? You dirty little bastards! Bob's Penguins is stealing 70 ducats. Bob's Moose Farm. Yeah, I need more ships up here. There's a 40%. That's where all the money's going right now. Same thing here. All the little subject. I need way more ships. Bob's Tea Party making 100. And 13 ducats a month in trade income. Arrives after 1700 in a province in a capital area of its owner that has either a seat of parliament, a university, or at least 20 development in Europe while owned by a monarch with at least 5 in all stats. No, it's one or the other. You don't have to have all 5 of all stats. I think... Obviously, we need to squirrel because I want the Enlightenment to be spawned in my country because I want the monarch points. But at the same time, I'm wondering... We're too invested, I think, in moving the capital. Like, I can't not move my capital now. Shit. You guys are going to be really upset. I'm going to be really upset. I just closed EU4 the normal way. Thinking that I had a save from a minute ago. Except that I don't. So my options are not spawn the Enlightenment or we go back to this save. Oh no. It's not redoing the merchants. It is, well, it's redoing the merchants, but it's also, I think... Okay, yes. Thank God, goodness, at least I have that. I did already do the client state, and I already gave him all of his land. No, I didn't! See? Crap! Yeah, it's time to just restart the campaign. It's like Factorio, it's time to start over. Clearly, we gotta just start over. Damn it! This was right before we had moved the capital. Yeah, that's true. At least the peace deal's done and we don't have to redo that. That would suck. Let's check their criteria to make sure that I'm not getting screwed by this. This is the earliest date that the institution can spread. The year is 1700. The capital in question, my province, my capital, obviously needs to be in the capital area, which it is, will be. Can't be on an island, that's fine. Needs to be in a state. It either has to have a seat in parliament, which we didn't have, a university, or it needs to be in Europe with 20 development, and my guy has to be really good. So, Zealand does not have a university. So the only way that we can make this happen would be if we make sure that we give it a seat of parliament. And even then, it's not guaranteed to happen right away. Delay moving for 3 months isn't really an option because I'm over 118% overextended. I have to get rid of this land. And I can't give it to anybody else because I was expecting to create the client state. So we've just got to chance the fact that it's going to be a seat in parliament. We can give 2 seats and just hope that one of these 2 gets it. Yep. I can't give this one a seat in Parliament because it's not a state. But yes, now we have to move all the merchants again. Great. Great, 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 great. Stole what I wanted. Stole what I wanted. Probably should take more often, more frequent autosaves. I take tons of saves, tons of backup saves when I'm playing on my own, but I try to avoid spending too much time doing it while streaming. But I should do it more often. Does London have a university? That's a great question. They do not. But the capital area, if any of these provinces here have a university, then that would count. It's like England, old chap, never had enough money for those. Okay. Ah, crap, just placated him. I didn't need to do that. Shoot. Time to start the campaign all over again, right? You know what? Alternatively, instead of sabotaging his reputation, before I give this land away, I could fabricate on his higher development provinces. I could get 20, 45. I had like 60. I just spent 60. I had 65. I could fabricate 2 claims. It's not worth it. No, London is not considered to be an island. That's not what the word island means. The island means that it's a province on its own, like Cyprus. That's an island in the context of the game. Well, I'm rather irritated that I made that mistake, but it happens. All right. We've moved our capital, so we're already committed to doing the trade thing again. Considering I have a pretty good idea where I want the merchants this time now, I think it'll go a lot faster. I'll be able to remember if I had one here, and I did not, so... I know I had one here, I had one here, I had one here. Here I believe we were sending this way instead, right? 8%. We had one there. You need to be set next month. You just stay there, that's fine. I needed a merchant here. Here, transferring. So transfer, transfer, transfer. That's good. I did end up with one here. Not here. So let's move the guy who is currently in Doab over here. Have a guy here. He's transferring. I did end up with one here. We'll take our new guy there. You are supposed to transfer. Transfer to Caribbean. Transfer Chesapeake. I think I ended up with one over there. You're transferring. You are collecting. I didn't have one here or here. So that was Champagne and Vien that need to stop being there. Now where did that other one go? You guys remember where the other one had been? I feel like I've got one extra merchant. I don't remember where he goes. Oh, it was Ivory Coast. No. He was here. The guy who was in Vien? Okay. And we know that we need way more ships over here. No, I don't think I had one in Lubeck last time. I just built a bunch of boats in Mexico. Let's take half the boats that are currently in Mexico, though. It's nice to get more of the money to go around the curve, but... And actually, this part's not nearly as important as the final two bits up here, the Gulf of St. Lawrence and Chesapeake. So I'm going to take all of these ships that are currently working in Mexico and have them protect trade in the Gulf of St. Lawrence. And then there is another fleet. Caribbean's important. What? Right, more frequent backup saves, please. Is it more efficient to send the trade from Mexico to Caribbean? No. More efficient, maybe, as far as, like, how many ships you need, but as far as how much money can you get? No, you want to send it around the world. And the reason for that is because of this. If you look right here, you can see on the output side, Ryukyu increases outgoing value by 7.6%. That's multiplicative. For every node that the power goes, the value goes through, it increases by a percentage depending on how many people are steering in that direction. So in this case, 7.6% boost to the value. Once it gets up to Nippon, all of these nations are boosting it. We end up with a sum boost of well over 10%. From here, 90% of it gets carried forward. We get that boosted again by 10%. Once we go through these pure good nodes like this one, this next month is going to be bad because I can't not collect here because it's still treating it like it's my capital node, even though it's not my capital node anymore. Your home node is permanently collecting trade. You can't transfer trade power from it, except that it's not my home node anymore. So, but anyway, every node that it jumps through, you get a boost, and that's where you end up with stupid big numbers. Eventually. We now have a 25th merchant. One last cursory check just to make sure that their merchants are steering in the right directions. I know that this guy needs to be switched from collect to transfer. Transfer, transfer, transfer. 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 And it'll take time for the ships to get into position. Six Timbuktu and Kashmir merchants. Yeah. That guy doesn't belong there. Where does he go? I have no idea now. There's so many merchants. There's 25 of the damn things, you know? They add up. Gulf of St. Lawrence. Do I not have one there? Holy crap. Thank you. I mean, it's all going the right direction, but we want one here. Anyway. That was the guy who was in Timbuktu. Still one more. Is it possible to have more merchants than there are trade nodes? Maybe. Did I have one in Brazil? If I did, I don't know if that's really the best place for him. I'm actually considering not having one here either. Okay. Let's let it settle for a bit. Here come the events, or rather, here they should come, some more of them. And I had done this last time. I had threatened war, improved with my new subject, and then I had accidentally used Desenwe as a thing instead of Netherlands. Now it only takes me 1 day to do diplomatic interactions. Yay! Don't want to spy on this guy for a bit. Poland have their independence guaranteed by Austria. I have 2 merchants free? What? It can't be right. I don't understand. I could have sworn I just... Follow the chain. We had this all sorted, damn it. Still a guy there. There's just so damn many of them. I feel like... No, there's just 2 extras. They're everywhere I think they should be. Primary areas. So I guess we'll take these final 2 and we'll just try to force money into the region up here. Is there a merchant in Australia? Don't think so. Okay. Lots of bonus trade power there. Taking as many damn backup saves as I can here. We're very close to spawning the next institution, and I want to make sure that we get it. Okay, there we go. Already we're making more than we did, and it's not done yet. And the only thing that I changed between the last time we tried it and this time is that I sent some of my ships up here. If I can get enough ships that we have like 80% control of these 2 nodes, then we're going to be making probably over 800 ducats a month in trade. I want 80%. That's my mark, the target. Queue up some ships there. I'd like to have 80% control in every single node at least. 82% is decent. 100% is a pretty good number. 100%. 91% is pretty good. Don't care about that one. 97, 98, 95, 99.
Need a wee. Be right back.
Okay. Okay. Next then would be to, yes, get some more in Mexico, because that's the beginning of where it starts. Let's just take, like, a ship Just a couple ships. Have them protect trade in Mexico. And we'll start building some ships and attach them to this. And since I know I'm building over the force limit, we'll build some more grand shipyards. Keep a small stockpile of funds just in case, because I do have fluctuating trade income right now while we're stabilizing the whole thing. These guys are currently trying to repair. They're going to take forever to get over where they're supposed to be. Save to embrace the institution. That's true. But we're going to be able to take tech right away without having to worry about it right away. Alright, I'm going to turn merchants back off again then. Let's check on Senwi's core. On track to get it done pretty soon. We're spying on Pomerania for tech discount, except that he's counter-espionaging me because he's a bastard. People who have annoying forts that I don't want to have to fight is who I'm trying to spy on right now. Bohemia's got a few of those. Got one in Berlin. Not to mention that's... Jesus! 59 development! It's a pretty expensive province. I wonder if he'll accept a threatened war for Berlin. That is so much development. Holy crap. I mean, this state has 97 development in it. It's a lot of development. Persia's declared war on Hassa. I want to start integrating the Mamluks. I've got to adjust to this moved capital. Okay, we are now officially integrating the Mamluks. This can only cost 636 points. He's got some cores to finish, but he'll have those finished well in time, I'm sure. He is out of admin points now. He's not actually coring everything yet. Alright, what do you guys think? Who should we be fighting? I'm leaning toward maybe France. Depends on his forts. The one mothballed. Now, France is probably going to be just to keep on threatening him. Just take all of his stuff, you know. Take the forts from him that way. We're gonna create client states everywhere. Every 10 years, one will be being integrated. I'm never gonna from now to the end of the campaign. I'm gonna have constant annexed subjects penalties. But we have high enough diplomatic reputation from the ideas that I've taken that it won't matter. I do apologize about messing up that save, because now we're just now getting back to playing where we were before. But just in case, we're gonna take a save here because we're totally gonna spawn the next institution. It's gonna happen. It would be nice if it had spawned really far away from everyone else, but it doesn't have to be. Like, at this point, institution spread's not going to be where we get our advantage. We already have our advantage. Our advantage is that we have, you know, nearly 10 times the development of France. That's the main thing. I thought somebody in here had some mothballed forts that I'd just seen. It was you. They were mothballed, now he's got them active. Alright. Well, we have no truce with Castile. We have no war exhaustion. We have force limit available. I have no money. Let's just spawn an institution. Cross your fingers. This time it can actually fire because this is a seat of parliament. See how we have green checks next to everything? Even though we don't have a university, because it's a seat in parliament, it can fire. Is this worth trying to make into a state, anyway? Maybe. Now, here's the real thing. The real thing that I'm way off from is that I need negative 100 piety right now, and I don't see how that's even remotely possible at the moment. I would have to tank every single remaining Muslim nation there is. And even then, it's probably not enough. I think this is going to be the first time in a long time that I don't actually get a tech discount. Oh well, most of my techs were discounted by 10% from that thing. Not all of them, but most. Alright, let's get one final save before the end of this month. And it's gonna spawn. It's gonna have to. It just has to. The very first time. Very first try. Nope. Aw. We got gold and Highveld. That would have been awesome. Where did it spawn this time? Galray! No, it's supposed to spawn in Zealand. Screw that. Cheating game. Luck needs to be with us. This is one of those things where it is worth squirreling, I think, to have the event fire exactly how you want. I lost a merchant. We went from, what, 25 back down to 24? I wonder why that is. Let's take a look and see if we're getting merchants from trade companies, and it's possible that I've tweaked that. Yeah, Frankfurt's blowing up now that he's no longer restricted by the Empire and he's not a free prince. Or whatever it's called, a merchant republic or the free city. He went from 26 to 25. I wonder where it takes the 26th merchant from. Let's check and see if These numbers don't look right. So we've got merchants from these things. The Konkan Charter. It's got to be related to one of these things, right? Why would we would be at 26 but then come back down? I feel like I should know where Konkan is, but I don't. Where the hell is Konkan Charter? No, it wasn't an event merchant. I don't have any temporary merchants. Bob's Beggar never gave me a merchant. Where the hell's Konkan? It's got to be over here, right? West India. That's what I'm looking at, isn't it? West India. Oops. There it is. Filipino Konkan Company. Okay, so to make that guy give us a merchant, we could enable promote investments. That might be enough. Or I could find a low development state and just revoke the state status and put it into the trade company. But none of these states are that bad. They're all pretty damn good. 46, maybe. $46 on the coastline? Could do that. Are there any others that I can maybe get? Coromandel Company? Same thing here. Yeah, Coromandel Charter. It's just a small little region here. How do I have so much if I don't actually have any of them part of the trade company? You must have at least 51% of provincial trade power in the region to become a dominant trade power. You currently control 27%, but I don't... Ah, okay. We're here. No? None of these are part of an actual... Not all assigned, and... doesn't extend anywhere else. Oh, okay, so it does extend, and these are part of it. It's these ones down here, and then these down here. Gotcha. I prefer to keep the naval force limit from having lower development on the coast, even though you get a little bit of a bonus to development. I would be willing to maybe trade away one of the interiors. 49 development seems really painful to get rid of. This gives me some in Coromandel and in Konkan. What do you guys think? Would you be willing to give away 50 development worth of 0% autonomy coastline to try to get one more merchant? I don't know. It's just money. So probably not. I don't think I will. I don't need more money. I think I'll try doing this one though. I will turn on the promote investments for the one that's close. Or maybe in the Konkan Charter.
Thanks for the awesome streams.
$59. Thank you. I'm just like having a very difficult time reading this thing. Malwa, Malwa, Malwa. I guess I'm willing to maybe consider giving away this one. We've already got 40% autonomy in this province anyway. And then I could keep my inflation down. I think for one, like, trading one state for a merchant and not having the extra yearly inflation is probably worthwhile. Besides, I'm going to want more states for this region over here. Also, we need the state slot for just a second anyway. After we integrate Hisenui, I'm probably going to want to turn some of his coastal territory into states. So, I'm sure we can find a state that's worth more. Alright, let's go ahead and spawn that institution, eh? We didn't embrace it. What? But it's supposed to fire the very first time. Very first time! For a long time, I was building absolute ridiculously huge amounts of manufactories, and then I stopped because I started building more shipyards and regimental camps and stuff so that I could bully the Ottomans into giving me land. But yeah, we can build manufactories. We can build all kinds of stuff. We can build whatever the hell we want. First things first, though, we need to spawn this institution. Giving it to the merchants doesn't give you more trade power for the trade company. The trade company has to be... Okay, the provincial trade power is summed for all provinces owned by the trade company. In order to give the land to a trade company, it needs to be a territory. It cannot be a core province. So you can't just revoke the state or like give it to the burghers and generate a merchant. No, you actually have to give it to a trade company. What the hell? Why isn't it spawning in my lands? That's ridiculous. Where to spawn this time? Napoli? No, that's wrong. Pretty sure in our history it goes where it's supposed to, which is in the capital. Our land. The very first time it's going to spawn. No, it's not total trade. You can test it. I mean, it's just pretty evident if you just try it. No, I mean, you're thinking of global trade, Kirenga. We already have global trade. We spawned that 50 years ago. Global trade's based on manufactories. The Enlightenment's based on universities, parliament, and or high monarch point rulers. I don't know how many people there are that could potentially spawn it. So if there's, you know, let's just say there's 60 provinces. Yeah, it might take a little while. Probably not, though. I don't think there's that many that meet the criteria. Depends on how many people have embraced the constitutional monarchy. I don't think that universities have a higher spawning chance, no. Nothing in the code that I read talks about that. It just says you have to meet these criteria, which we meet. Every province that you have that meets the criteria has a chance to spawn it. This is one of the reasons why maybe it'd be nice if... Oh, I did just open up a state slot. Is this a good enough state? 30 plus 19? Yeah, it's 60 development. Tell you what, let's increase our chances. We'll make this into a state. We don't have a university here. So in order to make this one have a chance to spawn it, we need to give it a seat in parliament. Now we have 2 chances per reload. In my Prussia 13 provinces game, it took me 4 reloads. Well, we better at least give ourselves 2 chances, right? I'm not a big fan of assigning extra parliament seats. More than I have to, but if it gives us a better chance at doing it, I guess time is more valuable to me. So if I had infinite time, I'd just reload the save over and over and over again until we're the ones that spawn it. Which would be great. But we're live, we're streaming right now, so we'll play a little bit suboptimally in order to try to make it happen faster. With 2 provinces, it didn't spawn on the very first try. That's crazy. Now, it doesn't have to be your capital. It has to be in your capital area. Which means something weird. I don't know. Paradox is really weird with their terminology. When I hear the words capital area, I assume it to mean the area, the, like, state, you know, that your capital exists in. But that's not what it means. I would assume that it means it's, yeah, just in this one state. But that's not correct. Apparently, capital area can mean is in a state, is not an island, is in your capital area. Capital area just means, like, I don't know how to explain it. Contiguous land around the capital. So you think that Zealand's, that I can't do these, it won't help, won't count? Let's just Google it real quick and see if I should add those to Parliament or not. The capital area includes all provinces of a country which have a land connection only through the country's own provinces to the capital. Straits count as land connection. So because we don't have a straight crossing, here's another argument for why we maybe should have moved the capital to London instead. But yeah, these are my only 2 chances then. Alright, we'll just have to cross our fingers. Damn. No, it does not refer to the areas map as evidenced by the thing I just read. It would make 100% perfect sense for it to refer to the areas map. I agree. That's what it should refer to. But no, we're talking about a game made by Paradox Interactive. When has logic ever entered into the argument? You don't have to have a 555 ruler. Very, very common for people to misread that tooltip. Let's go through it one more time. Just so that we're not constantly reloading and whatever, and not actually being... not talking about anything. Bum, bum, bum. Alright, so reading the tooltip. These are the criteria that need to be required to be met, okay? The year needs to be 1700. Pretty self-evident. People can usually comprehend that one. Zealand is in Ryukyu's capital area. This one confuses the shit out of people because capital area, as we just talked about, makes no fucking sense. Capital area, they introduced a concept in a thing called areas, and then it's not the capital area. No, 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 it's the thing I just read, which is that it's the contiguous land connection between your capital and straits count as land adjacency. So that means that if you are, like, say, France, your capital area is the entirety of your country. Okay? Zealand is not an island. This is another thing people can get confused by. You might think that that means you can't spawn it if your capital was in Great Britain. It's not true. It just means that you can't be a island province. Island provinces have no adjacent other provinces. That's the definition of an island in this game. No physical adjacency to any other province. That's an island. This is an island, yes, but it's not an island in the game. Next. One of the following must be true. Either, and this is where this tooltip is not easy to decipher, province needs to have a seat in parliament, or have a university, or all of the following must be true. This all of the following must be true oftentimes makes people think they need to have all of that stuff, but you don't. It's an or statement. It's or province has a seat in parliament, or a university, or all of that other shit. So we're not doing all that other shit. We're just having a seat in parliament. And that meets the criteria. One of the following must be true. Province has a seat in parliament. Criteria met. Green check mark. We're done. We don't have to have a 555 ruler. Game, give me the institution. Give it to me, game. So basically what's happening right now, if you wanted to talk about it further and look at the actual code, every single month that goes by that the criteria are met, each country has every province that meets those criteria is given a weight of 100 points, basically. And every month, there's a mean time to happen that province will succeed in spawning the institution. The more provinces there are, the more likely it is to spawn. The more provinces that you own that meet the criteria, the more likely you are to be the one to get it. It's possible, and you can see it, it'll happen in your campaigns, that even though all the criteria are met, sometimes colonialism doesn't spawn till 1502. You know, just because bad luck, basically. Did you save after giving a seat in parliament? Yes. I find it interesting that its capital province cannot have an autonomy higher than 0%, and yet it's at 74.4 when I load the save. But then in the next monthly tick, despite the fact that it's not even fully cored, it is at 0%. That's sneaky. If I didn't have to core a 33 development province, get 0% autonomy out of it. How's the income right now? It's pretty good. Our trade income is higher. It will continue to get much, much, much higher as I build more ships over in the Gulf of St. Lawrence and in the Chesapeake Bay. That's where most of my money is going right now. It's where most of it's being lost. We would have a much better chance of spawning it if I had done the capital in London. And we would have saved 50 admin points by having done it there. And what I would miss out on is the ability to create client states in other locations. In Asia. Eventually. Assuming they're connected. Let's just see, for argument's sake, we could add all of these seats to Parliament. We could add all of this land to Parliament. We could have like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. We could have 19 chances instead of 2. But then I'd have to redo the merchants again. I'd have to redo the client state. I'd have to redo the stuff that I did with the Indian region, trying to make it so that we had that extra merchant, which, by the way, I should pay attention one of these times that I'm trying to spawn the institution. Make sure that at the beginning of next month we're getting that extra merchant back. Because if not, then I messed something up down there. Yeah. That's a great way to put it, yeah, Nimander. You can create client states in your capital area. I still think they should just change the term. They shouldn't say capital area. They should just say exactly what it is, right? Instead of having these stupid terms that you need to, like, memorize. Why doesn't it just say... Instead of saying Zealand is in Ryukyu's capital area, how about it says province must be, like... connected to capital via land adjacency. Done. It's like 4 more words. It's not that complicated. Yeah, so we are getting our 26th merchant. Game hates me, doesn't want me to have the actual institution. Everyone else gets it, but not me. Watch, one of these times I'll spawn it and just like click through, not read it, and then everyone's in chat. It's gonna be like freaking out, like, can't believe you would do that! Province must be like connected to capital via land adjacency. Sounds much cleaner. Make an auto hotkey script to spawn the institution. I don't know how you would program it to know when it succeeded. It would be trivial to make it do what I'm doing over and over again, but for it to be able to actually know whether or not it's succeeded and know to stop. So what do you guys think about bread? What's your favorite kind? I'm partial to wheat. Don't really like rye. I feel like white bread is just like pure carbs. Wheat bread usually feels like it's healthy. Probably not healthy as other options, but it feels healthier. Sourdough bread. Now that's pretty good bread when it comes to grilled cheese sandwiches. Oh yeah, give me some sourdough bread for that. Or Italian. Italian bread or sourdough, both very good. Very, very good for grilled cheese. Grilled cheese is probably one of the best types of sandwich you can make. Especially when you have tomato soup. It's awesome. No. Don't get me started. Don't get me started on gluten-free. I don't want to get started. Gluten-free is ridiculous. If you have an actual medical condition where you can't have gluten, then hey, no problem. You get a pass. Everyone else, you're freaking idiots. Do not buy into the gluten-free conspiracy. It's stupid. That's like, it's the same thing as people who, let's see, what was it over the last 20 years? There's something people were doing that was stupid. Oh, right. Here's an example. Turns out, right? I'm pretty sure this is correct, but I could be wrong. Turns out after the fact that, that's not right. I forgot to do the step. It turns out that after, years and years and years of people imbibing or, consuming, was it aspartame or aspartame or fake sugar? It's bad for you, turns out. And it turns out that you're probably better off just having real sugar. Yeah. It's funny? You know what else is stupid? It's people who buy into the whole organic food. Guess what? I'm gonna let you in on a little secret. All food's organic. If it grows in the ground, it's organic food. You're paying for stupidity. It's stupid tax is what you're paying for. What? You're gonna eat free-range chicken. Okay? It's still a bird. Like, what, do you think that it really makes that big of a difference just because it lived on a farm that was fancy and had a nice puppy to chase it around and a cat that it could attack or something? I don't know. I mean, like... Now, there is an argument. There's one argument there that I will take back, which is just that the whole concept of free range is actually, I think, related more so to the conditions that the animals are kept in. Like, they're not like in the huge warehouses and stuff where they never, like, see the light of day and they're force-fed food and, like, that stuff. Like, that part, the humanitarian part of that's pretty important. But, like, I don't know. Yeah, I agree. I think a lot of the factory farms, especially in the United States, are, let's just say they're a little bit less than humanitarian. There's some serious problems with it. You know what I want? To not piss too many people off. We'll just change subjects now. I'm really looking forward to lab-grown meat. I think it's going to be really cool. When they can actually, like, just grow it in a petri dish and it isn't horrible, I would do that. Or if we could, have the thing from Star Trek and you could just materialize it out of thin air, that'd be fantastic. Spectacular. So what else is going on with you guys? I'm reading a book right now. I'm on the final 20% of the third book. It's called Red Rising by Pierce, I think is his first name. What's his last name? Pierce something.
It's pronounced aspartame.
Aspartame. Thank you. Let's see. This book is by Pierce Brown. Yep, see? I was right. Pierce Brown. Red Rising. Good book. I'm liking it. I will say it's dragging a little bit in the third book. I feel like he kind of ran out of steam. He's like, I've got to... Every chapter I need to make it sound like there's a lot of really important plot things happening. It's really hard for the protagonist to process the morality of his decisions. Gotta talk about the morality every time. Every chapter. Alright, relax on the morality a little bit, okay? We get it. But still, it's good. It's entertaining. I like it. Although, I will say I would be far more interested in reading the third book of the other series that I was reading. Not yet released, unfortunately. I've already forgotten now. It's not supposed to be out for the next 6 months or so. The name of the book is... Oh, what's his name? I don't even remember now. Main protagonist that I like is named Kaladin. It's like... Stormlight Archive by Brandon Sanderson. That's what it's called. Third book. Can't wait for the third book. I've already read Wheels of Time. All of them. 15. 15 freaking books. Would not recommend. I read it out of sheer stubbornness. I hated the idea that I was going to get like 9 books in and then not finish it. But I got to tell you, books like 5 through 12 were, oh, so much work. So not worthwhile. And then the final 3 books were written by Brandon Sanderson, and they were actually pretty good. It was a nice change of pace, but I do think that he messed up Matt a lot. Especially in like book 13. He got him wrong. Robert Jordan had a very different idea of Matt. But Sanderson did, I think, make Perrin. He made Perrin awesome. I like that. But seriously, if you're gonna read The Wheel of Time, just read the first 3 books and call it good. Especially read the first book. The first book was really, really awesome. But Stormlight Archive, now that one, there's 2 out so far, and both of them, I devoured those in like 5 days. Of course, I also read 2.9 out of the 3 Red Rising books in the last week and a half. So... I'm starting to think that the game doesn't want me to have this institution. It's not going to give us it on the very first time, is it? It wasn't nearly this difficult to spawn the institution in for colonialism, because there were far, far, far fewer countries that were eligible. Why are we taking the time to do this? I'll give you a few reasons. A, we can. B, I want the monarch points. C, I wouldn't mind the 20 prestige. D, I don't want anyone else to have it. E, it fits my min-max personality. And reason number 7, just because. Obviously, we switch from letters to numbers.
The Book of the Fallen can be a bit hard to get into.
The Malazan Book of the Fallen. No, I'm not. I should be keeping track of how many separate nations are spawning it, just to get a better idea of like how many potential countries there are. To see exactly how unlikely this is. Because if it's like less than a 0.1% chance or something, it will literally take hundreds of reloads to get it to spawn. That probably won't be worthwhile. Though the monarch points, man. Monarch points! You get like 100 of each monarch point? I'm pretty sure that's what it is. You get 100 of each monarch point, as well as 20 prestige, I think. I did recently convince my son to listen to... I couldn't convince him to read it, but I've convinced him to listen to an audiobook of the Mistborn series, so that was cool. Am I Walter White? No. Though he was pretty awesome. That was a good show. Okay, if you're upset the Wheel of Time is getting slandered, I personally think that you have rose-tinted glasses. And I know I've run into people who've had that argument before, and people who really, really think highly of it are usually people who read it one book at a time as it came out and didn't realize how boring that stuff is from like books 4 through 9. Basically, the opinion that I came to toward the end after reading more about Robert Jordan and his release schedule, he was knocking out a book every year or two, at least one every 2 years. I think it was every year though, for like 10 years. I mean, it's 15 books, right? Now, compare it. If you're reading one book a year, then you're eager for the next installment. But on the other hand, if you try to read them all back to back, which is what I did, then you start to see how like little substance there actually is in each book. And you're just kind of like, would you shut up about all these characters that I just don't care about and like get on with the plot, please? But no. He had to write a new book every year so that people would buy them. Which, hey, you can't fault the guy for running his business, but at the same time, you can't fault me for complaining about him doing that. So, Sanderson writes tons of books every year, but his books have substance. That's the difference. Like you can't read Mistborn episode or book 5 and 6 and 7 and say that there's no substance to them. They're so good. On my vacation, I read 2 Sanderson books, 2 of the Red Rising books, and I read another book by, I don't remember the name of the guy, but it was called Ready Player One. So, I read the whole series on after the other about 5 times. You read the entire... No. Please don't tell me you... No. Are you saying you've read the Wheel of Time series 5 times? The whole thing? You've read all 15 books 9 times? 5 times? What? That's nuts. Wheel of Time Sanderson books feel so rushed. Yeah, it's just a difference in writing style. Sanderson's a lot more action-oriented. Like, he usually gets a lot more stuff done in shorter periods of time. I'm not saying I think, okay, to say some good things about Robert Jordan, just so that I'm being balanced here, I think Robert Jordan probably does a better job with, like, character development, but he also is slow. He just gets so little done. Like, he's kind of like kind of like George R.R. Martin in the fact that he has just so many characters up in the air all the time. There's so many of them. And they're interesting, kind of, but there's just too many. George R.R. Martin's solution is to kill half of them. Robert Jordan's solution is to just keep on talking about them until you're bored to death. Where Sanderson usually sticks to like 4 or 5 principal core characters, and that's it. He jumps between their perspectives, but you hear about every other chapter is going to be about a character you're interested in. But hey, you don't have to agree with me. It's just my opinion. And I am an expert on my opinion. My opinion is something I know a lot about. I could talk for hours about my opinion. And I would get every single statement right on my opinion. I agree, yeah. George R.R. Martin is another example of he writes books that are good for multiple reads. I read... It's funny. God, that scares me.
What can you say about Discworld then?
Discworld, I have not read it, Maximalist. You scared the hell out of me, though. Thank you. That's too loud. So George R.R. Martin, and I am like almost positive he will die before he finishes the next book. He's never going to finish it. Book 6 of A Song of Ice and Fire. It's not going to happen. He's just not going to. He's not going to write that book. And I think he's relegated himself to doling out the plot to HBO instead, because he doesn't seem like he's in any rush. Like, does he not know that it's been years? It's been 4 years, I think, since I read that the fifth book. Like, come on, man. We just got done talking about Robert Jordan, and Brandon Sanderson, who knock out a book every single year. And I'm gonna go look it up real quick. Song of Ice and Fire, Book 5, release date. It was Dance with Dragons, I remember that. It was released July 12th, 2011. We're getting on 6 years here, man. Come on, where's book 6? I need my fill. I mean, Jesus.
Less than 3.
Less than 3. He writes so slow. Like, people talk about Game of Thrones, which, by the way, if you get a chance, do go see the live concert experience. We saw that in Tampa, and it was awesome. Really cool. Really made me want to rewatch the whole show again. But, what was I saying? People forget that book 1, they think that, like, a Game of Thrones, which is actually, I think, the title for book 3, which they ended up using as the name for the HBO series because they thought that it was better. Might have been book 2. I don't think EU4 likes me reloading it this often. Okay, a book 1. Oh no, it was called. The first book was called A Game of Thrones. Okay, I thought it was book 3. Game of Thrones, Clash of Clans, Storm of Swords, Feast for Crows, Dance with Dragons, Winds of Winter, and A Dream of Spring, forthcoming in theory. People forget, A Game of Thrones book 1 was written in 1996. Now, when you think about that for a second, 1996 doesn't really seem like that long ago to me, but that's because I was born in the 80s. 1996 was 21 years ago. 21 years old. Holy crap. I mean, it just became popular on HBO, like, what, 6 years ago? 5 years ago? 21 years! That's how long it's taken him to write 5 books. Come on! Meanwhile, Robert Jordan and Brandon Sanderson are knocking out a book every year. I have no idea how many reloads we're on. I'm not counting. Counting will just make me mad. It'll make me angry. This isn't 100% necessary. I'm not starving for Monarch points or anything right now. I just don't like the idea of missing out on it. So, until I get bored of talking about random artists and authors and making fun of them for various reasons, then I'm going to keep doing it. And as long as chat is engaged and interested, then we'll keep doing it. He writes other books, though, too. Well, tell him to stop it. I don't want him to write other books. I want him to write the book that everyone in the whole freaking world is waiting for. Go to Sanderson's website. You'll see he's still writing a book a year. What he does is he'll take a break from writing one series. Like, instead of writing book 6 of his series, he'll be like, I don't know how to finish this. And then he'll just go write an entire different book. Or he'll skip the book and write the book after it, and then come back in and fill the gaps. I don't know how his mind can handle doing that, but it works for him. Like, he knows where he wants to go. He doesn't know how he wants to get there. And that's fine. You know, whatever works. Just out of curiosity, has anyone been keeping track of how many reloads we're on? Because it is getting kind of high. What would you do if George R.R. Martin died today? What would I do? I would first say I told you so. But if I were him or if I were HBO, I would be very, very likely to have arranged some sort of an agreement. I'm pretty sure he's already spilled the beans to HBO about exactly how the campaign or exactly how the books are supposed to end. And I don't think HBO's not willing to stop. They're not going to stop putting out 10 episodes a year, every year. Not a chance. Every single year, they're going to keep on releasing another season because it's such a huge, huge market. They're making so much money off that show. This is really good. It's a great show. So, I mean, in some ways, I'm pretty sure the HBO series is actually slightly ahead of the book. It's been 4 years since I read book 5, so I can't even remember exactly. 'Cause I remember there's some slight deviations, like, and some of them really bugged me too. I remember I think it was in the book, Ilan Payne was the guy who trained Lannister, Jaime Lannister, and how to use his left hand. Okay? Hey, if you haven't watched the books, if you haven't read the books or watched the show yet, it's your own fault if this is a spoiler. So I'm not even going to try to filter this part. I'm not going to talk about like every little thing, but little things like this that don't really matter. Like, it's your own fault if you haven't seen it. So Lannister loses his hand, right? Jaime Lannister is a swordsman and he loses his right hand. He's a famous swordsman, very, very good, but he loses his sword hand. And so then he learns how to use the left hand instead. And the person he trains with is Ilan Payne, the tongueless executioner. And the reason he trains with Ilan Payne is because Ilan Payne can't speak. So he can't tell anyone that he's training or, teaching him how to fight. That's how it was in the book. For some weird reason in the TV show, they decide that Bran, whatever the hell his name is, the swordsmith, the merc that Tyrion hires, that he's going to train him. I think that Bran, it's like Bronn, Bronn. I think that Bronn is a more interesting character than Ilan Payne by far, but I just found that to be a very weird deviation from the books for like no real good reason that I could think of. Oh, the actor died. Never mind. There we go. That explains it. I had no idea.
The actor that played Payne had cancer.
Yet another good show ruined by death. I mean, I feel bad for him too, of course, but more importantly, the show deviated from the books. It reminds me of season 1 of Spartacus. You know how much better that show would have been if that guy hadn't died? You know how much happier he would be if he wasn't dead? You know how much happier I would be in that show if he hadn't died? Season 1 of Spartacus on Netflix, that was so good. So good. And then they had to replace him with someone else who just sucked. I mean, he was pretty good, but it wasn't the same. No matter how hard he tried, he couldn't live up to it. He couldn't match the mannerisms, couldn't be the same character. Yeah. Dumbledore? I don't know, I've heard about that argument though too. Like, Dumbledore dying was unfortunate, but it was nice, right? When Harry Potter was a really little kid, it was nice because Dumbledore had this like grandfatherly, like approachable, sweet old man type feel. And then when they had to change actors because he died, it worked, you know? He became more lively, more aggressive, like more a different version of Dumbledore, and that was actually pretty good. But yeah, he died too. All right, I'm getting sick of this. I'm almost done, I think, trying this. Not that I'm tired of talking about random stuff, but this is annoying me. I think there's too many other countries that can potentially spawn it. Well, I think with Feast for Crows, it's the same thing with Robert Jordan's writing style. When you have that many characters up in the air, that many different simultaneous plots that you're trying to tell and stuff, the reader loses the ability to keep track of what's important, and it all blurs together. And sometimes, I swear, when I was reading that book, all of them really, you're reading and you get to a chapter, you read the first line of the chapter, find out which character it's about, and you just go, God damn it, not another chapter about this person. And you're just like, But you have to read it. You have to read it, because if you don't, then you don't know what happened. But I usually put the book down and come back later. Let's see, what other deviations were there? Or, okay, we were talking about how the books differed in A Song of Ice and Fire from the HBO series, and I also had mentioned that I think that the HBO series is slightly ahead of the books. Does anyone remember... Okay, and I'm going to try not to spoil this because this is at the very end of the season, but does anybody remember... What was I just thinking? Yeah, okay, I thought that the Sansa Stark chapters... See, I really liked the chapters about the other Stark girl. What's her name again? It's been a long time since I've read them, so I can't just pull their names out of my top of my hat. But the one that does the stuff with the faceless guy or the faceless religion or whatever. Stick him with the pointy ends. Needle. Arya Stark. I loved her chapters, though I felt like they kind of dragged on. And I was wondering, like, when's she gonna do something cool?
But on slow progress, Martin's computer is from 80s. It finally broke.
What does WAG stand for? Orca Commander. I don't know what that WAG means. So in the book, Tyrion was like disfigured. He was nasty looking, right? But that was part of his character. He was a dwarf and he got disfigured in combat. And he just lived and rolled with it, you know? But then they didn't make it that big of a deal. He barely had even a scratch on him. But that's because, bless that man, what's his name? Don't tell me, I'll remember. Tyrion Lannister is played by the actor, excuse me, whose name is... Don't say it, don't say it! I'm looking at you. You over there. His name, I'll remember it. I will. Peter Dinklage. Haha. No, I got it first. I didn't look. You can see the direction I was looking. I didn't. No, I'm right. I got it first. Peter Dinklage. He's just such an awesome character that I can see why they deviated in that regard. He's amazing. He's a fantastic actor. One of the highlights of the entire show, in my opinion. Benedict Cumberbatch. No. Although, if they put Benedict Cumberbatch into the Game of Thrones series, that would be awesome. My wife and I are rewatching. We're rewatching all of Sherlock on Netflix right now because we want to watch the new season. And of course, you have to start the new season by rewatching the entire thing. I mean, you just have to. He's another actor I think is an absolutely amazing guy. I love that character. Who's Charles Dance? I don't recognize the actor name. Which character does he play, Cynical Giant? 28th reload, can I take a break? Has it been that many? It's gonna spawn the very first time, guys. The very first time. Alright, I'm tempted to quit trying. Should we just do a vote? You guys want to do a poll and see if it's time to quit? It's time to give up. Time to turn in our dice. Throw away our D20. Just melt it down into something better. You could just go to a different game. Maybe we do that. That's not a bad idea. We still have an hour left. We could always just cut this session here, which is basically mostly talking about books, not actually playing EU4, and we just play a different game, and then I can do this this nonsense in my spare time. Should we just do a poll for like whether or not we reload the game? Damn. I'm trying to trick the game right now. I really thought it was going to work that time. See, I'm psyching it out. This totally works. I'm pretending like I'm not going to do it anymore, and then the game's going to think I don't want it, and then it's going to give it to me. That's how it works. You might not believe me, but the game, it's specifically in there. They've coded it this way. You'll find references to my name in the code. It'll say if Arumba, it's an if-then statement. If Arumba wants X, do X. And so all I have to do is just want the opposite. It's Murphy's Law. It's a real thing. Yes, reverse psychology against a computer. Absolutely. It's totally a realistic thing to do, right? Oh yeah, it's spawning all over the place right now. It's just spawning everywhere except for where I want it. Like, we could check every time if you wanted to, but this time it's in Kostroma. I think there's a lot of different places. There's a bunch of different countries that have our government type. I mean, Russia is a constitutional monarchy. So every single province that Russia has that is that has a seat of parliament can spawn it. Ah. My chances seem rather slim in actually getting it to successfully spawn here. Every other institution we've had a very, very good chance on, except for the ones that were physically impossible. Okay. Whole new. You got 3 choices, folks. I need your opinion, need your feedback. I'm at my wit's end for the moment. No, the seat of parliament does not need to be in Europe. We've already gone through the criteria a couple times, I think. It's completely possible for me to spawn it. It could happen. The issue is just that there's too many other countries that can spawn it, and it's like this. Like, for example, you know that there's pulse events, right? There's a biannual pulse, meaning every 2 years there's a random event. You know those events that you get that are like, you know, excellent minister, and you suddenly gain like plus 50 prestige or 1 stability? That's an event that fires on the biannual pulse. There's like 350 some events that can fire on the biannual pulse. You won't meet the criteria for all of them, but let's say you meet the criteria for 150 of them. That means that if you save the game right before your biannual pulse, and you just reload it over and over and over and over again, you could theoretically engineer the exact event you want every biannual pulse. Just would take you a lot of reloads, because that's how it works. Option 4, I don't care, let's just talk about books. I've never even thought to do that. Is there like an argument to be made for just doing a book discussion stream? Should I just start my stream up one day and just be like, we're not playing games, we're just talking about books? This is the impromptu Arumba book discussion class. It's a book club. I have to say, I find it surprising that we're actually gaining viewers. Doesn't make sense. Look at this. I'm going to show you guys. I'm going to break the fourth wall. Look. Look. This is my lunch break. We're gaining viewers while talking about books and reloading EU4 over and over and over again. What is wrong with you people? I mean, I love you. Thank you for being here. But still, what? Why is this entertaining for you? You ever wonder? Where's check out the straw poll now. I've been watching it because I'm just looking at chat right now, but what the hell? I really thought you guys would be sick of this, but no, 51% of you want me to keep trying. You guys are crazy. Okay. Well, here I was thinking maybe this is too much, but guess I was mistaken. Who is your favorite Game of Thrones character and why is he... No. Who's your favorite Game of Thrones character? That's a great question. I have to say, I think a lot of people really like the Starks, right? I think you're inclined to feel as if the Stark house is the protagonist house, which makes most people love anyone that's in the Starks. Now, hopefully without spoiling too much, lots of people love Robb. He's a nice guy, he's a great character. Let's just leave it at that. A lot of people like Jon Snow. He's great. Not too many people really care much for Eddard. I think most people know that he dies pretty early on. He's still a great character, but he can't really be your favorite character if he dies in the first couple episodes. But yeah, the Starks in general are very, very overrepresented, I think, as far as favorite characters go. I would have to say Tyrion, though, is my favorite. I love that guy. In the books and in the show. I think that in my head, Tyrion was my favorite character to begin with anyway. Ah, crap, I reloaded the wrong save. He was... See how little I'm paying attention to this now? He was a great character in the book. And then when Peter Dinklage started playing him, he just changed him a little bit, but in every way for the better, I think. I agree, Sandor Clegane is actually a really cool character too. I'm not so big on Daenerys though. I still haven't decided about her. That was another thing that they deviated with a little bit, I think. You guys remember in the scene where I forget the name, Baratheon's brother, Robert Baratheon's brother, Ned? Not Ned. What the hell's his name? The guy with the fire chick lady. He comes and he attacks he attacks King's Landing. And they use wildfire, they use dragonfire, whatever they call it. But more importantly, there was a really, really important thing that Tyrion had done, which was the metal chain. And I don't remember seeing that being a big deal. But in the books, it was a huge deal. Stannis, yes, that's his name. Stannis Baratheon. But in the books, it was super important. There was this massive, massive iron chain that Tyrion had all of the blacksmiths in the city craft. And he had them put it together, and they dragged it across the entire bay. They set the bay on fire, yes, but the chain was what got them. It's one thing to set the bay on fire. It's another thing to raise this massive chain out of the water and trap all of the ships. But I don't remember them making a big deal about that in the TV show. Maybe I'm mistaken. I don't know. It's been a while since I watched the show. I'm trying to get my wife to watch it with me now. Was it in the book? Well, I mean, maybe it was, but I just don't feel like they made it into a big enough deal. Wildfire's cool. Trapping all the ships. That's what's important. Jaime and Brienne? Yes. I agree. They had a very weird relationship. Of course, every relationship that Jaime has is a weird relationship when he's, you know, Jaime. He's got a very interesting set of relationships to compare with. I feel bad I feel bad for the actor who played Joffrey. I've heard that that guy is like just hated everywhere he goes. He's in college now, or he was in the last few years, and like everyone hates him. Aerodim, thank you for your sub. Sub for book discussion. Sub for book club. But yeah, the guy who played Joffrey, he did such a good job in making everyone hate him that now everyone hates him in real life, even though he's just a dude, just a dude playing a character, just doing his job. But he was damn good at it. I'm gonna smash that little man's face if I ever see him. It's just something so punchable about those little damn spiky little teeth. Yes, I watched House of Cards. I haven't watched the latest season because I kind of got burnt out on it. I felt like the first 2 seasons were better than the third, and I think they're on the 4th now, and I didn't watch it. I tried checking out the, there was a British, no, not British, it was a Portuguese or Brazilian, I don't remember, but it was a South American show. I don't remember what it was called now. It was like The Island or the... Crap, I gotta go look it up. But it's in my view. Is it... No, not 3%. That's not the one. There's something else. Let me know if you guys can remember what that show is. Is it 3%? Really? Oh yeah, you're right. It is. Yeah, it is. Right, because only 3% of people make it through. That's right. Yeah, I thought it was good. It was good for a non like major production studio show. I think they did a good job. I liked it a lot. Why are you reloading all the time? Well, because there's this bug in the game right now, and I can't seem to figure it out or fix it. There's this bug where the institution keeps spawning, but it's not spawning in my land. We don't, we're just trying to fix it. The 4th season's really good in House of Cards? No way. Maybe I should watch it. I mean, I finally pushed through all the boring Remy Danton crap and all the stuff about the random Texas dude who was trying to do something. Whatever. You guys familiar with the law of large numbers? How long has it been since you've had a statistics class? The law of large numbers states that given a large enough sample, anything that can happen will happen. So if we just reload the game as many times as we need to, eventually we'll spawn it in our country. The chances of it spawning in our country approach 100%. You can't possibly skip season 3, right? No, you can't just skip season 3. You'd have to watch it. How cool would it be if I could just save? I want the gold. Yes, I want gold, but if I can't get the gold without spawning the institution.
The Enlightenment spawned in your country on the 20th reload, but you were too busy talking about books.
No. No, it didn't. Don't you dare. Don't you dare say that. That's mean. He's lying, right? That's not true. If that's true, then that sucks. If he's lying, then he's a clever bastard. Smart man. I don't believe it. There's just no way. I don't believe it.
New book topic. Have you read The Last Angel over at Space Battles? A publisher needs to get that book printed.
I have not. I'm always looking for new books. Ben had suggested the books that I just read. Although I think he only read the first one in Red Rising, and now I've read all 3 of them. I think I have a bit more of a voracious appetite for books than he does. He's like, these are the books I've been reading the last couple of years. I'm like, oh, okay. 1 week later. Done. Next. What's new? I could use a new book, please. I don't think so, Elcid. This is similar to the way that it worked for colonialism. And if I, as a monkey, were in chat, he could tell you that he had the same problem. He was competing, I think, with Portugal and Castile. And it took him, like, 25 tries to get it to go. But no. It's like rolling generals.
That's not what the law of large numbers say. Tongue also, since you added to parliament in this month, could be the game is not recorded that yet, so at the turn of the month it doesn't see you as eligible.
I don't think it's that either. Appreciate the idea, appreciate the feedback, but I don't think that's correct because when we look at the institution spread, the institution criteria, we have check marks next to that already. I actually recently read the, what was the name of the book? The Hitchhiker's Guide to the Universe, or Galaxy? Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy? I don't know what all the fuss is about. I did not find that book to be that interesting. I liked the sad robot or whatever his name was, but I did not. I don't know. It's all right. Didn't. I think I only read the first book, but by the end of the first book, I was just bored, so I didn't want to read more. How many more are there? Oh God, is it going to be like Robert Jordan again? Do I have to slog through like 8 books just to get to the good part? Please no. I'd rather not. How about after 250 tries we give up? I have no idea what 250 more? Because I don't know how many we're at. Do you read Orwell? Only book that even comes to mind when you say the word Orwell is 1984, which I have considered rereading. It's been a long time since I read it, but honestly, with everything that's going on in the world right now, I think it'd be pretty interesting to actually to reread that book. Did you guys know that as soon as Trump was elected, the number of sales for 1984 like spiked? If you go look at like Amazon sales history, like lots of people bought the book. Oh, we also wrote Animal Farm. Yep. Okay, I remember that one. All the opinions you have are like the same as mine. Well, hopefully it's a case of great minds think alike and not a case of we're both idiots and don't realize it, right? That would be unfortunate. The YouTube title needs to be updated. I'm almost wondering if this is even worth putting on YouTube at this point. Might just have to cut this part. But then again, it's part of the experience.
Did you read the Sorcery Ascendant sequence yet? It's pretty good, in my humble opinion.
I have not. There are tons of books. There's too many books that I could not possibly have read them all. Oh, man. Has it been an hour? Have I actually been doing this for a whole hour? I'm starting to think that maybe my odds aren't very good. This is like trying to win the lottery. This is just stubbornness now at this point. Now I'm falling into the it's not gambler's fallacy, it's sunken cost, I think is what it's called. Sunken cost fallacy. Because I've spent so much effort on it, now I don't want to give up on it because I've put so much effort into it. Good news is I'm getting really good at doing it. I am very good at copy pasting my save file. Renaming it really quick, reloading EU4. Thing is, I do need to record some episodes of the other campaign. It's finally caught up. Ideas guy. I think the last episode, the current live episode, is the last one that's recorded. So tonight, sometime tonight, I'm going to have to record more of that. I don't see how a batch script could parse it, though. How would you do that? I'm curious. Like, how would you actually set it up so that it knows the success condition? Obviously, you could set it up to do what I've been doing over and over and over again, but how does it know that the event's different? You need to parse the autosave to check to see where the institution spawned. Yeah, I'm behind on a lot of things. That's why I'm spending time doing this, William. This is very important. It is. I need to get this achievement. You don't understand. If I can get this achievement, then I don't have to ever worry about getting this achievement again. Until they release another achievement. This is difficult to get, and then I have to worry about getting that achievement. I believe it does autosave on the first, yes, because it's... Right now, I think Iron Man saves autosave every third month. It's a quarterly autosave. It used to be monthly. They've nerfed Iron Man mode a couple times. It used to be every freaking decision you would take would generate an autosave. Then it was once a month. Now it's only once a quarter. Yeah, if it spawns in my province, the pop-up will be much different. Instead of saying, this changes everything, it'll say, blah, 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 you get 100 monarch points of each type. That time it actually did not want to reload. This is like, yeah, it's like Groundhog Day. Fantastic movie. We're just reliving the same 2 days over and over and over again. No, seriously though, I might end up not doing this anymore. I don't think I'm going to give up on getting it. I'm going to force it to happen, but I might just do it like later on, not during my normal hours, so that I can just, you know, just kind of do it while watching a TV show or something and not really pay any attention to it. Well, enough attention to it that I don't miss it, but at the same time, not just be doing nothing. You guys are the ones who said, don't give up. I was willing to give up 20 minutes ago. I was actually, if you told me, if you had actually voted, I would have just said, all right, fine, screw it. It's only 300 monarch points. We can just give it up. Fine. But you guys said not to. We could stream Ideas Guy, but I've got to kind of like get acclimated to that run soon. Let's turn this into a drinking game. Oh gosh. That would be bad for all of us. Where's... Only 300 monarch points. Where's Arumba? What have you done with him? This is true. I was not willing to sacrifice 4 military points to pass the parliament decision because I wanted those military points. Instead, I sacrificed army tradition. Well, I mean, I've got to get acclimated to the save because I haven't played it in 2 weeks. I have no idea what I was even doing. I remember I have my cool generals now. That's awesome. But beyond that, I don't... I think I have a huge coalition. You were kicking ass. Oh, good. Oh, man. What would I be doing if I wasn't doing this right now? This is starting to make me mad. Just won't spawn properly. I've still got 10% of my book to finish. I could just read my book. I'm gonna read it to you guys. I could practice my audiobook skills and read it. Just read it out loud. That would be so weird. How awkward would that be? I would have to be drunk, and I don't drink, so it'd be very difficult for that to happen. I don't drink anymore, not really. But yeah, I could just get way... Ah, crap! It's the wrong one, I didn't do it. See, I keep forgetting to do it. I'm not even... What are your thoughts on this whole Revlo? Was it Revlo? That thing we turned on at the beginning of the stream today. Is it good? Do you guys like it? Or is it bad and annoying? I noticed a lot of people are gambling, and that's kind of annoying, actually. No, please don't murder yourselves. Someone just suggested take a shot every time Arumba reloads the save. Are you kidding? You'll be dead in 20 minutes. I'm reloading probably once every minute, maybe? If you took 20 shots in a minute, in 20 minutes, you would... That is dangerous. Really dangerous. You guys can drink all the hell you want as far as the Twitch terms of service go. The thing is, as far as I've read, I'm pretty sure the things that I'm not allowed to do as part of the Twitch terms of service is I can't sell drinks. Meaning I can't say, you know, if you donate 20 bucks, then I'll take a shot. Right? And you can't be cute about it, and you can't say, oh, if you donate $20, then I will show you the bottom of this cup that has liquor in it. I'm not drinking it. No, I'm just showing you the bottom of it. In order to show you the bottom of it, I gotta get it empty. I don't know. They're obviously smart enough to shut you down if you do that kind of stuff. But yeah. No, you're allowed to drink, and you're allowed to do stuff like that. You guys can get as drunk as you want, but you can't do the thing I was talking about. I don't know if it only applies to alcohol. That's an interesting question. Probably. I mean, is like pot and other stuff even really that big of a thing that people do for... I don't see how that would...
Can you show us the great power ranking screen? I wonder where the other powers rank.
Yes, Duran597, I can. If you've seen people doing that $5 a shot, then they're likely to get their accounts closed soon. If they're of any notable size. It's against the terms of service. Just getting mad now. Getting mad. At one point in the campaign, I had considered doing this for one of the biannual Pulse events. There's an event you can get that gives you minus 15% diplomatic annexation cost for 10 years. It's called Loyal Subjects. But there's like 300 other events that fire on the biannual Pulse. So it's very, very dangerous. Dangerous? Wrong word. Very, very unlikely that you will actually succeed in getting that to fire when you need it to. If there's one thing I've learned with 9 years on the site, as long as you're friends with staff members, rules don't apply. Apparently all I have to do is just become friends with Twitch staff now. Okay, I think it's time for a new poll. It's been another at least half hour, so... Is stubbornness a virtue? I hope so. I've clearly earned it.
You could load the Ideas Guy campaign and run the timeline to get acquainted with it again.
This is true. If I did that, I would have time to record one episode before I'm supposed to wrap things up. Let's see what the poll is. What are you guys saying? I mean, you just... Are you... God. Oh, man. Just for the YouTube viewers here, okay? Look. They're doing it. It's not me. They keep trying. Ah! At this rate, we should have a 666 ruler. Right? As many times as we've reloaded? Like, we should have, like, the perfect air. I see. Okay, so you're saying count, play something up. Yeah, count, play something else and give up as the same, and then it's at 6. It's still in favor of keep trying, though. That's 48% to 51%. A little bit of rounding involved, of course. What's this? Has William created a new poll? William, you forgot your colon. This will be a perfect example of the very first time. Once I finally get it, it will have spawned the very first try. What luck! Amazing! Everyone's so impressed. All right, I think I'm gonna not give up in the sense that I will make sure that I spawn it, but I will do the spawning of it later over time, you know, tonight sometime. And then for now, let's be our very last try, right? Okay, game, this is your very last chance to redeem yourself. Just give me the game. Just give it to me. Very last try, game. You're there. Damn it! I thought that was gonna work. It didn't work. Stupid game. All right, so we'll try it more again later. But let's do what the other people had suggested. I'm gonna grab a quick drink because my mouth is really dry from all that book talk. But we're gonna record an episode of Ideas Guy. Okay, I'm gonna go grab a soda. I'll be right back. One second, guys. Okay. Been a while. I don't remember the save. Don't remember what's going on. I have no clue. We're white. Our country's white. Why do we have a white country? Who do I hate? Who do I like? I don't remember any of this campaign. Let's just watch it. Why is this still open? Okay, so I remember we started off as a one province minor. Yes, obviously, of course. The timeline still shows little men. That's funny. And then we expanded. Yep. Okay, remember that. We'll resume the 3 mountains after I get the institution to spawn. I'm gonna take the time to make it spawn on my own a little bit later. Actually, I should put a cut in here for the YouTube one. So yeah. All right. Yeah. 1 second.